when you're honoring yourself, you can't do anything else unless you love who you are. Okay, so I came across this report, and it says, you saw that right, my eyes. Back up to read. Okay, I came across this report that was very interesting to me. It says nearly 4 in 10, 39% of adults reported symptoms of anxiety and depression. That's a lot of people who have anxiety and depression. And in October of 2022, 90% of the public believes that there is a mental health crisis. I mean, is anybody surprised? It's been a pretty intense 3 years, and it doesn't look like things are going to get much better. So it's important for all of us to take a moment and to do some self-care. I'm talking about some serious reflection and self-care. So I wanted to talk about us taking the time to honoring our identity and our authentic voice. It's very easy to get lost in the likes and the what she has, what he has, and how much and how this and the achievements that we have been conditioned to value here in America and around the world. It's human nature, of course. And it can make you very depressed, right? If you get stuck in the who's got what and who's doing what and how much more they are ahead than maybe we are. And sometimes it's true. Sometimes people, I guess, have more, and life's not fair, and it's just that way sometimes. I'm not saying that to trivialize whatever it is that you might be carrying, but I've just been thinking a lot about what's really important. What's really, really important, and how can we structure our lives such that the important things are kind of taken care of. And you'll find the more you look at yourself and evaluate the people in your life and the things you're doing, the less things and the less stuff and the less achievements will have value. So how do you do that? How do you honor your authentic voice? You start by defining your identity and really owning not just the good stuff that you like, that you want to show to the world, but who you are on the inside, your uniqueness, your quirks, and your hobbies and your interests. And know that if you're feeling sad and depressed, sometimes it's because you are not honoring the things you love in your life. Socrates said it best, know thyself. It's that simple and really challenging to do, because it's easy to say, I fit this category because I have these things, and I've got this status in the world because I've got this, that, and the other, and that has nothing to do with who we are on the inside. Who am I in the context of my life? And I don't mean what you look like or feel like or seem like to other people, but who are you? How do you define yourself? And then once you decide that, embrace it. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. Embrace it. We are a culmination of all of those tiny bits and pieces of ourselves. The ones that look great and are great, and the ones that are not so great. That is who we are. And if you can accept yourself for who you are, it's a real gift. And it took me a long time to accept that I'm just a closet nerd, and I like to be alone, and I like the time I spend with myself and my creative thinking and my ideas, and I know that I don't fit in so much with other people. People don't always understand me, and I have let that drive myself crazy. You know what? I'm not living this life for anybody but myself. You have to function in the world, but I am who I am, and that's just who I am, and I'm not apologizing for that anymore. And I'm putting this out there because I hope that you are taking the time to really honor who you are, and without bulldozing over those around you, because we do have to function in the world, really not compromise boundaries when it comes to who you are. To do that, you gotta be aware of those external influences. In other words, we are not the number of likes we have on Instagram. We are not the number of cars we have. We are not the salary, the prestige, the job, the fancy this, fancy that. We're not that. Those are things that make our lives fun. And if we have that, have at it. I'm very blessed. I've got a lot of junk that I value that no one else is going to value but me. But I have that. But that's not what defines me. What defines me is what I can give to others, is how I am in service of young people, arts education. I've always been very passionate about helping others achieve their dreams. That's who I am and what I do. It's easy to be distracted by what you think you should be, what others think you should be, and what you should have, and all of those things. I have had an extraordinary life, and I hope that I have more extraordinary life to live. But I have to stop and think that out of all the things I've done, what's mattered the most is the connections I've had with people and the gifts I've been able to give people and the opportunities I've provided, or the self-reflection and self-realizations and the lessons I've been able to pass on that I've learned from some very important mentors and teachers. That's what's important. As Dr. Maya Angelou says, teach what you know. And so I am reflecting and honoring the journey I've had to get where I am, and knowing that I'm on the second half, the other side. I probably will not live as long as I've been alive, and that's okay. I have had my share. I've got more to do, but I do not take my blessings for granted. And if I can give as many as I can to others, I want to really do that. And I think that's it. Right? When you're honoring yourself, you can't do anything else unless you love who you are. You can be uncomfortable with yourself sometimes. You can be mad at yourself. You can want to have other things, maybe want to be someone else. But at some point, you have to own who you are and be shamelessly unforgiving about it. Be aware of the impact you're making. If you go to a wedding and you wear a red dress, that's going to have an impact. If that's who you are, by all means, go for it and hope that you can be clear with the bride about what's going on there. But you see my point? Be aware of the impact you have in the room, but don't apologize for who you are. And if there was a gift I could give others, I would love for them to really cherish the parts of themselves that make them unique. People would love to chop you down, talk about you, say this and the other. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. What matters is what you think. What matters is how you present yourself. What matters is how much you apply yourself in the world that you live, and how much integrity you have to do the right thing, because it's the right thing to do. Not because you're going to get rich from it, but because the thing in front of you, the task in front of you, needs to be done. There's power in that. And that cannot happen unless you know who you are. So I wish you the best. I wish you the continued journey of self-reflection. And if you want to take this journey with me, please like and subscribe and all of those things. If this video was helpful, forward it to others. And let's get on this journey of self-awareness, self-reflection, and how we can bring our unique self to every part of our lives. In doing so, as Marianne Williamson says, you give others the permission to do the same. So let's do it.